In this video, we're going to look at 6 basic strumming patterns for beginners, as well as how to read these strumming patterns using rhythmic notation. In the previous video, I covered the different note values, so make sure you've seen that to get the most out of this video. Learning to read strumming patterns has many advantages. You'll have a lot more clarity when it comes to playing rhythm guitar, which of course will help you to learn guitar a lot faster. To be honest, I think there's way too much focus on the fretting hand. If you're just starting out, it's far better to start with a small amount of chords and then to get the strumming hand sorted properly. Once you've done that, you can go and learn more chords and more scales. Also, you'll be able to pick up new rhythms a lot faster, and this ability to read rhythms will help you in other areas of guitar playing and music in general as well. We'll start with one of the most basic strumming patterns on the guitar, which of course is just 4 downstrokes per bar. This is what it looks like on paper, and as you can see, we have 4 beats in a bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on every one of those beats, we're playing a downstroke. Down, 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 down. Let me play that for you on the guitar. Now before we go any further, here are a couple of very important pointers for you. Make sure you're counting out aloud as you play. This will help you a lot going forward once we start subdividing the beats. You also need to be tapping your foot on the downstrokes. This will help you with your internal clock, and your playing will sound a lot better once you're used to tapping your foot while you're playing. Next up, make sure you use a metronome. Practicing with a metronome has tons of advantages. You learn to play in time, and you can also use the metronome to gauge your progress on the guitar. Let's say you made a note that you were able to play a certain strumming pattern effortlessly at say 60 beats a minute, and then 2 weeks later you see that you can now play it at 80 beats a minute. Then you can see a clear path of progress there, which will help you to avoid feeling bad because of no or slow progress. I'll also suggest that you leave the chord changes for later. Just grab a basic chord and first get comfortable with the actual strumming pattern. Only using one chord will allow you to play the rhythm over and over without any breaks or pauses. This will imprint the rhythm much better into your muscle memory as opposed to stopping and going the whole time due to slow chord changes. Only add the chord changes once you have the strumming pattern sorted properly. It'll save you a lot of headache, trust me. Our next rhythm is 8 strokes per bar, which means we have 2 strokes for every beat. This is what it looks like on paper. You'll see that we now have an upstroke in between every downstroke. Now interestingly enough though, we had that same upstroke in the previous rhythm, only it was a silent upstroke, which means that your strumming hand comes back up, but it doesn't actually strike the strings. As you can see, in order to have 2 consecutive downstrokes, we need to have an upstroke in between the 2 downstrokes. So as you're strumming down, your hand will have to come back up before you can play the next downstroke. But as you can see here, it's a silent upstroke, so you're not actually striking the strings. Then you can strum down again, and then play a silent upstroke, then go down, silent upstroke, down, silent upstroke. Now what will happen if I actually strike the strings when our strumming hand comes back up? Well, that'll cause this rhythm to have 2 strokes for every beat, and this is what it sounds like. Now both these rhythms are perfectly fine to use, but they can actually be a little bit too simple or even monotonous. But luckily, there's an easy way to spice things up. We can start by mixing up quarter and eighth notes together in the same bar to create some basic rhythmic interest. Let's check out a couple of variations. In variation 1, we'll have 2 strokes for beat 1, followed by 1 stroke for the remaining beats. This is what it looks like on paper. Down, up, down, 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 1 and 2, 3, 4. Let me play that for you on the guitar. For the second rhythm, we'll have 2 strokes for beat 2 and 1 stroke for beats 1, 3 and 4. This is what it looks like. Down, down, up, down, down, or 1, 2 and 3, 4. Let me play that for you. Now for our third variation, we'll have 2 strokes for beat 3 and 1 stroke for beats 1, 2 and 4. This is what it looks like on paper. Down, 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 up, down, or 1, 2, 3 and 4. Once again, let me play that for you on the guitar. For our last rhythm in this video, we'll have 2 strokes for beat 4 and 1 stroke for beats 1, 2 and 3. This is what it looks like on paper. Down, 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 up. 1, 2, 3, 4 and. Once again, let me play that for you. So what's next? You now have 6 strumming patterns that you can use, and I suggest getting them down first before trying to learn any new patterns. Once you have them down, you can start to use them on some actual chord progressions like the 3-chord trick or even a 1-6-4-5. You can also use these strumming patterns with some songs. Now this is where knowing a couple of strumming patterns becomes very handy, because you'll get to pick and choose which pattern suits the song the best. The more rhythms and feels you have, the more authentically you can play a range of different songs and styles. We'll check this out more in some of the upcoming videos. Remember to use a metronome and to count out aloud as well as tapping your foot. And in the next video we'll dig deeper, but until then, remember to take it easy and to practice every day. I'll see you on the next one.